guys, so you remember a few videos ago whenever I said, I'm just not going to make any more videos on religion. I lied. You see, a series of things have happened to me since I made that video that have just really pissed me off, so of course that means I have to make a video, naturally. So the first thing that happened to me was I went to go see my doctor a few weeks ago, and my doctor happens to also be a gynecologist. I happen to also be dressed in scrubs because I go to medical school and I had scrubs on that day. So I'm walking into the women's center and there are all these ladies outside with their little protest signs pointing at me, telling me I'm going to hell because apparently I was an abortion doctor because I'm walking into a women's center wearing scrubs, which automatically means that I'm going to kill a bunch of fetuses, right? So that happened, and that was really fun. All these crazy women with their signs saying, "You're going to hell." Second thing that happened, I was home over the break, and of course the topic of religion gets brought up, even though I hate talking about it with family members. It got brought up anyways, and anytime I ever be honest with people and tell them exactly how I feel and how I'm kind of agnostic and I don't really know, just kind of a little weirdness going on in the Bible that I really just don't fully buy into, I always get the same reaction, and it goes kind of something like this. Ooh, yeah, I just don't think you should say that, it's kind of dangerous to say things like that. I would just, I would kind of reevaluate the way that you feel, and I wouldn't say stuff like that out loud anymore because, you just never know. And then I'm left sitting there with this dumbfounded look on my face like, why did you even bother asking me? You already kind of knew how I felt. And then of course I get the same reaction from that. You know what? It's okay. You're young and you're confused right now. And one day you'll come to your senses and then you'll agree with me. You'll see the light. And until that happens, I will pray for you. I will keep you in my prayers. And then maybe my prayers will just touch your life and make you understand. And then you'll be cured, you'll be healed, you'll be religious again, and all will be good, and you will go to heaven. Pretty much. They actually tell me they're going to help me get into heaven by praying for me so that I'm enlightened at some point in the near future. And I'm sitting there saying, okay, well thanks, you think that I'm going to hell. That's really, I've got a lot to be thankful for over the break, so I'll just keep that in mind. My family thinks I'm going to hell to burn for all of eternity because I don't agree with them. But of course I kept my mouth shut, didn't say anything, didn't want to cause problems, left it at that, and I was just like, okay, thanks. You can go ahead and assert your moral superiority by saying that you're going to pray for me. I'll just sit there and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna go now. It's nice seeing you. And then the last thing that happened, the straw that broke the camel's back, was that a friend of mine posted something on Facebook that said, regardless of your religious beliefs or lack thereof, if you focus on being a good human being, the existence of hell should be irrelevant. I really liked this post. I was like, oh wow, that's really uplifting. If you're a good person, you try to do good, it shouldn't really matter. You shouldn't be living in fear all the time and worried about going to heaven or hell and what am I going to do and what should I believe and what should I say and what motions should I go through. If you're a good person, you're good to go. Don't even worry about that shit. But no, of course, you know what? Of course, I go into my analytical mode and I'm like, yeah, except for that most Christians don't actually think that. At least the evangelical ones that I'm used to being around, because they all hold the stance that no matter what it is that you do, good or bad, you're still a piece of shit. You're still worthless. You're nothing. You are nothing without Jesus, okay? Because he is the only thing that can get you into heaven. So no matter if you are frickin' Mother Teresa or you are a murderer, you both have the same chance of getting into heaven so long as you believe in Jesus, because without him, you're both going to hell no matter how many good things you do. And I understand the whole good works and faith thing, and that's what a lot of people believe. But a lot of people don't even believe the good works part. They're just like, faith, Jesus or hell. If you do not have Jesus, you are going to hell. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of Christians think. So regardless if you are agnostic or if you're atheist or if you're another religion completely, you're just pretty much fucked because you don't believe in Jesus. So you're going to go to hell. And these people think that all of you, because only, 30% of the world is Christian, everybody else is going to spend an eternity in hell, burning forever, and it's almost like these people think that that's justified. It kind of reminds me of that annoying kid that always sits in the front of the class who's like up the teacher's ass and trying to kiss their ass and trying to be, oh, I'm the best student ever, I go home and study like every day. And that student is always the one that has this little smirk on their face when somebody else gets yelled at because they're like, that's what you get for not being a complete kiss ass to the teacher. I'm sitting up here doing everything that I'm supposed to, so you deserve to get bitched at. And that's the feeling I get from a lot of Christians. I'm not saying all of them are like this before everybody goes and gets all butthurt, but a lot of them kind of are. They're like, well, you know, you had your chance. You should have believed in Jesus when you had the chance. You missed your chance. Now you just have to suffer the consequences, which I think are justified because God can do nothing wrong. And, you know, you're just going to be burning in hell forever. And I'm cool with that. Totally. You had it coming. Now, when someone thinks of an extreme Christian, they think of people out there burning the Quran. They think of people out there who are all against women's rights and all against gay rights and just out there pointing the finger and judging. But honestly, since I've moved away from Christianity and kind of looked at it in more of like a broad sense with an open mind and stopped being so offended myself with things because I used to identify with it, I've been able to kind of see like what everyone hates about it so much. And this is like one of the things, like you don't have to be extreme and judgmental in the sense that they think to still feel that it's kind of extreme and judgmental to look around at 70% of the world and say, you guys are going to hell because you don't agree with me. Now, if you think about it, there's a lot of religions out there that have a heaven and hell, similar scenario, and think that Christians won't get in because they don't hold their belief. I mean, you could be going to hell in so many different religions, yet people claim to think that they have the right religion, they have all the answers, they know that they're saved, and they just, you know, unfortunately, you're not going to be unless you adopt their frame of mind, and to me, that is kind of extreme and judgmental. Like, how could you, to anybody out there who's watching the video right now, who's a Christian, who believes that you have to accept Jesus to go to heaven, how do you sleep at night? Like, how are you cool with a God that is literally going to let 70% of the world burn in hell for all eternity? Does this not sound like really fucked up and sadistic to you? Because to me, that's like, whoa, that's pretty extreme. Like, that's a pretty judgmental and extreme point of view to have. And if you do have it, why are you, like, cool with that? Why are you like, well, God is God, he can do no wrong, so that type of punishment is justified because he's God. And if you don't think that way and you're a Christian, good for you for being open-minded, but there's a lot of shit in the Bible that contradicts that belief, and if you start nitpicking parts of the Bible, eventually I think maybe you'll end up like where I am one day and you're just like, okay, you know what? The whole thing is rubbish because I can't sit there and nitpick, and if you can manage to still do that and be happy, then that's good, but for me, I'm just far too skeptical to nitpick parts that make me feel good and ignore the rest of the shit that exists in that book. So that's how I feel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Have you been told by Christians that you're going to hell because you don't exactly agree with them, or are you a Christian and think that 70% of the world is going to hell and that maybe they deserve it because they had their chance, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure to also like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.